Hi, hello, namaste. How are you all? How is the energy? Let's start the session with the beautiful affirmations. And what is today's affirmation? The right time is now. I'm ready to rise. The right time is now. I'm ready to rise. Right people love me and value me deeply. Right people love me and value me deeply. So let's start today's session. So what do we have in today's session? So as you know that I'm going to take up some important fixed questions that appear in your board paper for sure. Okay, so what are the important topics and I have taken as in fixed questions. So from which all the references I have taken these questions, because this is the first time the syllabus has been changed and we don't have any model, we don't have any previous year question papers as such. So I've taken these from the board model paper, okay, and then the preparatory papers and also from the question bank. Okay, so whenever you're studying any particular topic in computer science, these so these topics should be covered and then you can go on with the complete thing, whatever you want to study. Clear? So don't miss this topic. Clear? So and how the question will be asked is also very important, right? Okay, so let's start with the first chapter. What all important questions we have for the chapter 1, that is exception handling. So what do we have here? You can just see here this blueprint. We have 5 markers, okay, and then we have 1 MCQ, 1 fill in the blanks and 1 3 markers we have. So 3 markers, 1 minute, yeah. So what do we have in the 3 markers? This is the most frequently asked questions will be only few topics are there. If you study that, that is more than enough. So one is going to be the built-in exception. So in case of here, you can, if you want, you can take a screenshot also. Okay. Okay, you can take a screenshot of it and I've highlighted like which all the important topics in that. Okay, so in this you can just see here we have a built-in exception, and built-in exception they won't be asking a particular built-in exception, especially I know in the questions whatever I have seen they'll be asking the built-in any 3 built-in exceptions like that, but studying all the built-in exceptions is always good and it is a must for you to attempt the MCQ, because most of the MCQ questions will come from the built-in exceptions only. So next what we have, a process of handling exceptions. So in case of process of handling exception, it's better you write it in terms of the diagram, that will be best. So we have a rise statement. So syntax and example, you should be knowing about the rise statement and an assert statement. So need to understand the question and answer it. So you need to explain here, give the syntax and one example. Explanation 1 mark will be there, syntax will be 1 marker and example will be 1 marker. Like this we're going to divide the marks. Okay, assert also, and then we have try, except, else, finally we have that, no? So that you need to focus for the 3 markers, wherein you need to remember that one particular code that is given in the text. See, I'll be talking about the textbook only, because textbook everyone will be having. So if I tell that material, this material not everyone will be having, but if you refer the textbook, especially for that program, try, except, block, the division and program is there, no? So if you refer that, including everything else, finally everything you put, whichever they ask the question, try. If they ask you for try except, you write that, try except else, you write that, try except else, finally also you write that only. If you have any kind of confusion with the code, if you can know how to manipulate it, then you can be specific also. And after that, try, that's what I told you about try, except, else, and finally we'll go for the next chapter, that's going to be file handling. In file handling, what are the possible questions? I think you would have guessed by this now. Okay, so we have totally 5 markers, 1 MCQ and also 1 fill in the blanks, and then you're going to get 1 3 marker here. So what is going to be a file? What is the file? And mention the 2 types of file, that is text and binary files. Differences also they might ask you here. Okay, they will ask you the difference between different types of files, that is text files and binary files. And you can just see here they'll ask you with respect to the functions. syntax and example of functions they will ask you. So you in this chapter you need not have to study some coding snippets they have given for all. Big lengthy one you need not have to study, but specific related to each function you learn it. That will be going to helpful for you. Even in terms of MCQ fill in the blanks also it is going to help you. That means what all will be there? They may ask you with respect to write file, write lines, okay, read line, read lines, and then read line, read lines will be there. Seek is there, tell is there, dump is there, load is there. These are the functions related questions they may ask you with respect to explanation, syntax, and one example. 3 marker done. Okay, the chances is more. And 3 differences they may ask you to write a text file and then and then binary file. I'm really sorry, I'm just coughing in between, I'm really sorry for that. Okay, and then we have with open clause, and with open clause will be there, close function will be there. So please learn the syntax properly here, and then next question is going to be on the file modes. Okay, on the file modes. What is the next chapter we have? That's going to be the stack. In this stack chapter, what they will ask you, so it's basically an 8 marker, 1 MCQ, 2 marker, and then 5 marker is there. So in case of 2 marker, what are the probable questions you may get it? Stack and the principal, operations performed on the stack, and we have built-in functions to add and remove the elements in the stack using a list, and then we have user-defined functions to check whether a stack is empty or not. So that means 3 functions you may get it here with respect to what they may ask you for: push operation, pop operation, or is empty they may ask you. And one more question will be one simple question for 2 markers: what is prefix, postfix, and infix? An example for that. Okay, it's very simple, no? Infix is what? X plus y. And this is going to be what? A plus xy. And this is going to be xy plus. The question looks to be so difficult, but the answer is very simple if you understand the concepts. That's why understanding the concept is important. We'll go for the 5 markers of the chapter stack only here. So what they may ask you, one definite 5 marker, so definitely you will get, no? So applications, understand here, applications means specially with respect to, you can't tell the stack of books, okay, and then you cannot give stack of bangle as an example as such, okay, even I would have explained you, I have explained you with respect to stack of bangles only, but ensure that programming applications they are asking, so it should be specific with respect to programming applications only. Convert infix to postfix expression, and then algorithm they may ask you, athwa they will give you a question only and then ask you to write it. And then similarly we have evaluation of postfix expression, that's going to be an algorithm, athwa problematic also, the problem also they might give you here, and then it's going to be problem. That's what I told you. So what they will ask you, they will ask you the algorithm infix to postfix or evaluation of postfix, and then problems on infix to postfix or evaluation of postfix expression. So other applications they may ask you. Next we'll go for chapter 4, and then we have Q. So what is Q? Q is also going to carry 8 marks, 1 MCQ, 1 2 markers, and then 1 5 marker we have it. So in this, what all they may ask you? Similarly with stacks, that means what? Q, what is the principle of Q? What is Q? What is the principle of Q? What is that principle of Q? FIFO will tell you what is that FIFO, they might ask you that question, and they may ask you what is stack and queue in this. Difference, stack and queue, what is the difference between queue and deck? Queue and deck, stack and queue, queue and deck, 2 markers they may ask you. And they may ask you what are the operations on queue? What is queue? What are the operations? Okay, queue and operations on queue. And then we may ask you what is deck and what are the operations on deck, they may ask you. Applications of queue and programming. With respect to programming, that is the point clear? I'm just standing in a queue to deposit the amount in the bank. It's not a valid example. You have to give example, programming example only you have to give. Okay, and I told you here deck and operations on deck they will ask you here. And how exactly? How is deck and queue, what is the difference? How is deck different from queue? They may ask you this question. And the most frequently asked algorithm is going to be in palindrome. Palindrome is repeated like anything. Palindrome is repeated like anything. One is going to be an application, another is going to be an algorithm, especially with respect to palindrome only. Okay, the most frequently asked. Something else they have to twist it means what they will ask you. They will ask you the frequent user defined function with respect to adding an element to the queue, deleting an element to the queue, and whether checking whether an queue is empty or not. That means what? NQ, DQ, NQ, DQ, and is empty. Okay, so this is going to be the questions, and we'll go for the next chapter. So what is there in the chapter 5? That's going to be a sorting. I think sorting is going to be a chapter. If you're a bit thorough with the programming concepts, then this chapter becomes easy. It becomes easy. That means what they will ask you in this chapter, they will ask you, because 3 algorithm you have to learn. 3 algorithm, that means bubble sort, insertion sort, and selection sort. Algorithm if you have learned, then it is easy for you to write it in terms of diagrammatic representation for 5 markers, how to arrange the elements in the proper order. So that diagrammatic representation, one hot question will be there. No, if you've learned this, it's easy for you to do that, right? So they will ask you about what is the question? So algorithm to sort an element using a bubble sort. Okay, algorithm to sort. What is this? Is it repeated again and again? Yes, I think I have repeated it here again and again. Huh? Yes, it's repeated, I think, 1 minute. Okay, so we'll just go one by one, and then we can handle it easy. Okay, I'm sorry. So what is it? Define sorting and 2 types of sorting. Okay, sorting and 2 types of sorting. Explain how bubble sort arranges elements in ascending order. This is going to be an HOTS question. Okay, you need to diagrammatically represent it and you have to show it. Write an algorithm to sort. This is an algorithm. One is going to be an arrangement of elements. Another is going to be the algorithm arrangement and sorting. And next we have a selection sort to arrange element in ascending order, and then this also should be with respect to selection sort only. Okay, this also should be with respect to selection sort only. And next one more thing is what? Working of selection, insertion sort, and algorithm of insertion sort. They may ask you any chances is there. We cannot take a chance this algorithm only will get, that algorithm only will get. We cannot tell you, you can get anything. You should be perfect with all the 3. So what is the next question they may ask you? This is for sure for 3 marker. They may ask you this question. That's going to be what is constant time algorithm, and then we have linear time algorithm and quadratic time algorithm, and what is time complexity. Time complexity with respect to this algorithm they may ask you. Okay, next question what we have is going to be the searching. In case of searching, what is the blueprint? So blueprint you can just see with respect to searching and sorting, the blueprint remains the same. See, if you have observed the blueprint properly, the blueprint for first 2 chapters is the same. 5 markers is the same. And next what we have, stacks and queues, it is going to be same, 8 only. Then sorting and searching 10 only, it is the same. But here in case of sorting, you're going to get 2 MCQs. Okay, so 10 markers, 2 MCQs, 3 markers and 5 markers. That's how they have divided. But 10 markers only will be carried for searching also, but no MCQs will be asked from this. There is no MCQ from this chapter called searching here. Only we have 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 marker, put together 10 markers here. So define searching and mention any 2 types of searching: linear search, binary search, hashing, anything you can write. Applications of binary search, they may ask you, applications of binary search. Next what we have, binary, how do you search, how do you search an element using a binary search technique? That means you need to literally show with respect to the block diagram, and then you need to explain here. Okay, the chances is going to be less here. Okay, they will not ask this question in the HOTS, so that you will not get it. Some theoretical type of question only they should be asking here. So the chances of this question is going to be comparatively less. They've asked in one preparatory paper, so that I've just taken up this, and one of the model papers also, not from the board actually. Okay, from some other model paper had taken this. Next, algorithm to search an element using a binary linear search element, linear search, algorithm to search an element using a linear search, and of course you have an algorithm to search using a binary search. I've just covered both here. And what are the other questions? 2 marker, 3 marker, they may ask you. Definitions they'll ask. What are the definitions? Simple one is searching. Another is what is hashing, what is collision, what is collision resolution, what is perfect hashing, like this. Some definitions they ask you: hashing, perfect hash collision, what is collision, collision resolution. They may ask you this for 2 markers or 3 markers. Okay, we'll go for the chapter 7. That's going to be an understanding of data, and this question, this chapter, it's going to carry 5 marks and no theoretical question like we don't have any MCQs, 2 marker, 3 marker, only one question, 5 markers. You're going to get it from the HOTS only. That means it should be a numerical question only. Okay, so what is that? You've already probably seen when the preparatory papers and all: mean, median, mode, range function, and then the standard deviation. Mean, median, mode, standard deviation, range. If you know this, how to calculate it properly. Did you get, you know that this question you're going to get it. Did you get 5? That's the point. Prepare in such a way that you should get 5 in this. Losing 1 mark also should not be done. See, it's like only one question you have to prepare. How to calculate mean, median, mode. Mean is what, students? Average only, no. Okay, maths and all you're studying, right? It's pretty simple. Okay, I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to miss this chapter because only one question you have to read: mean, median, mode, range, and then standard deviation. Okay, and then one more question they may ask you with respect to standard deviation separately. You have to find out for the batsman A and batsman B. And here, who is more consistent? This you keep in mind. Having a person having a standard deviation less standard deviation means that's going to be tightly clustered. Tightly clustered means more consistent. That point to keep in mind. More standard deviation value means it is widely spread. Widely spread means less consistent. With respect to the consistency word, linking of consistency word and then the standard deviation value. Okay, one question, they may ask, put it in different ways, but only one question: mean, median, mode, standard deviation, range, how to calculate. That's it. We'll go for the chapter 8. That's going to be database concepts. So what are the questions? You may get it. And this chapter is going to be carrying 12 marks. Okay, next highest weighted chapter is going to be database only. 1 MCQ, 1 fill in the blanks. 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 marker, you will get it. So what are the questions you may expect here? What is DBMS? Mention the examples for DBMS software. Definitions will be more in this chapter. Definitions will be more. What is degree? What is cardinality? Like that. See, degree, cardinality. You can see here also what is data constraint, what is metadata, what is instance, database engine, database schema, query. Definitions are more important in this chapter. Whenever you're sitting and studying this chapter, no, learn the definitions properly. See, students, most of them think that I know this. No, try to learn the definitions properly with the proper keywords. That's very important. See, missing the keywords, you will not get the marks. Okay, next what do we have? Limitations of file system. This you can learn it, write it on your own only. And then we have difference between file system and relational DBMS and applications of database. Applications of database. Such a simple chapter, students. Okay, I don't want you to miss this chapter. Okay, we'll go with the next question. So what are this? Again, I have to repeat the same thing. Definitions only. What they'll ask you: attribute, tuple, domain, degree, cardinality. Definitions only. Most asked frequently questions will be on definitions only. And what define key? Types of keys they will ask you. What is a key and different types of keys? Explain data, relational data model with an example. And just store data in tables, that means in the form of relations and attributes and tuples. Okay, and one more question is properties of a relation. Properties of a relation also they may ask you. That means with respect to what? Properties of a relation means what? With respect to the attribute, with respect to the what I can tell you, with respect to the values. Okay, one is with respect to the values, another with respect to the tuple, another is with respect to the value, attribute and tuple. Three properties will be there. Okay, so 3 properties only they will be asking. Okay, this question they may ask you repeatedly. Then what is structured query language? Highest weighted chapter is going to be this structured query language. It will carry 15 marks. Never miss this chapter, because you should start studying this chapter itself, because this is the highest carrying chapter. And one more benefit is, you would have learnt this in for somehow you should have learnt, no, whether you have scored 30 on 30 or 29 or 14 or it may be 10, whatever the marks, you would have studied little bit for the practicals. So it is really going to help you out. Structured query language 15, so 3 MCQs, 2 fill in the blanks, 2 markers, 3 markers and 5 markers. So what are the questions you will get? All the DDL and then DDL command you will get. That means explain the syntax and example for create, alter, drop. With respect to create database, how to create a database, they've asked you the explanation. And with respect to the DML command and DQL command, this specially is going to be the DQL command, data query language. This is going to be the DML command. They've not clearly given that in the textbook actually in for your syllabus. Okay, these are the DDL command, DML command, syntax example, explanation, syntax example, explanation. For 3 markers if it is. 2 markers means only syntax and example. Okay, then we have differentiate. Difference between alter and update. Difference between update and alter and update and delete and drop. Alter, update, they will ask you difference. Delete and drop, they will ask you. And then difference between aggregate function and single row functions. What is the difference? Order by clause and group by clause. Like this differences. One is syntax and example of DDL command and DML command. And another is going to be what? Another is with respect to the differences. Differences. Alter, drop, delete and drop, aggregate functions and single row functions. And next is going to be the order by clause and then group by clause. Order by clause and group by clause separately, or they may ask you the difference also. And data types, they'll ask you constraints. And next we have under aggregate functions, give some examples for aggregate function. Specifically, they may ask you explain some 3 string functions. These are all under single row functions only. String functions, date functions and all, if they ask you numeric functions and all, that will be under single row functions only. Aggregate function is very simple. What is that aggregate function? Count function, then we have max function, min function, AVG function. AVG only, not average. Is the point clear? So like this, they may ask you some questions on functions. Okay, then very importantly, 5 marker, one hot question, you're going to get it. So you should thoroughly prepare your practical, whatever is there, no 4 questions you would have studied for the practical, how to write the query. If you prepare thoroughly, especially with respect to create, alter, drop, delete, insert, update, and then with respect to the aggregate function, max, min, count, thoroughly, and order by clause, distinct clause, you can definitely write the queries very simple because it is not that difficult. Okay, so prepare some questions. So this table will be given and some queries will be given. So you should be able to do this. If you have prepared it writing, you should practice by writing. Because syntax, if you must know, then they will not give the marks. So again, one table will be there, some query will be there, maximum, minimum, average, deleting tuples, removing the tuple only, removing the table only, drop command will use. And similarly, and all these have answered in the complete revision. Ma'am, where are the answers for all these things, ma'am? Everything is being covered in complete revision. You can just go through with the complete revision of all the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. All the parts I have covered, all these questions. If you have any doubt, you can just check that. You will be able to find the answers for that. Okay, and delete the record. Okay, display. It's all display. They have not given any create as such. Display means all select function only. Select. What can I tell? Select command only I can tell, because it's going to be an DQL command. It's a command only, not a function as such, isn't it? We'll go for the next chapter. That's going to be chapter 10. That's going to be computer networks. In case of computer networks, what we have totally 12 marks covering for this. 2 MCQs, 2 marker, 3 markers and 5 markers. So what are the 3 markers you will be getting? So you will be getting the difference between LAN and WAN, and write the differences between hub and switch. See, the most frequently asked question from this chapter will be with respect to network topologies, network topologies they'll ask you, networking devices they'll ask you, and then networking types. Networking types means what? For example, LAN, WAN, MAN, topologies, networking devices. Within that, they may ask you that question. What is the difference between hub and switch? What is the difference between LAN and WAN? And apart from that, they'll ask you with respect to the addresses. MAC address, IP address, two types of IP address, IPv4, IPv6. Okay, and then we have DNS server. What is DNS server? What is going to be DNS resolution? That one, and some important terminologies like what is www, URI, and then we have HTML like this. They may ask you some definitions or expansions from this chapter. Clear? We'll go with the chapter 11, that's going to be data communication. So what is going to be a data communication? So totally 9 marks has been allocated here. 2 MCQs, 2 markers and 5 markers here. So what is that simple question they may ask you for the 2 markers here? Bandwidth and data transfer rate and the communication mode. What? Simplex communication, half duplex communication, full duplex communication, and then they may ask you the protocols. 5 markers, what are the different questions? Components of the data communication, that means sender, receiver, what is that? Message will be there, communication path will be there, isn't it? Communication medium we call it, right? It's nothing but the communication path only, no? So like this you're supposed to write the data components, different components of the data communication. And what are the types of data communication modes? Means these are the different types of communication modes only. And after that, difference between circuit switching and packet switching. What is the difference between circuit switching and packet switching? Categories of wired media. Transmission media is different from transmission mode. Transmission mode is what? Transmission mode is simplex, half duplex and full duplex. With respect to communication mode is this. Communication media or transmission media is wired, wireless. Wired means you have twisted pair, coaxial cable, fiber optic cable and all will come. No, that will come. Don't get confused. Okay, so they have asked transmission waves only. When they ask transmission waves, you have to tell with respect to wireless, radio waves, microwaves, we have it, no, infrared waves, that you need to write it. And after that, they'll ask you the protocols. What are the different protocols? They may ask you HTTP, FTP, SMTP, TCP IP. So like this, different TCP IP, different protocols, communication protocol, they may ask you to explain. So this you have to keep in mind for the chapter 11. So we have the last chapter, that's going to be the security aspects. So this chapter carries 6 marks and 1 MCQ and 1 5 markers. So what all the questions? Different types of malware. Different types of malware, they may ask you for 5 markers or 3 markers. 5 markers, or it can be with respect to what I can tell you. Or they may ask you MCQs. They may ask you for 5 markers, or this question may crop in MCQ. So learning about different types of malware is very, very important. So what are the different types of malwares? We have it. You need to study all the different types of malware and methods of malware identification. What are the different methods of malware identification? By the antivirus, signature based and all, we have no sandbox detection, like that you have to write it. Different ways of network security threats. What are the different network security threats? Means what? That means denial of service, DDoS, intrusion, we have no. So those points you need to write for security threats. Keyloggers you have to write. And then what is malware? Modes of malware distribution means heading you need to write. What is the heading? It can download from the internet. Okay, that is one important heading you need to write. And one more heading is what you can write with respect to what I can tell you. I think removable storage devices by spams. Okay, so like clicking some by clicking what I can tell you. Yeah, some kind of, unknowingly if you click some links, okay, you're going to get, there is a chance that you may get the malware distributed. So that is the important thing that you need to remember here. And list some preventive measures against the malware. What are the different ways in which you can combat the malware? And we have write a short notes on firewall and what are what is a hacker and what are the types of hackers. White hat hackers, black hat hackers, and we have grey hat hackers. Like this, they may ask you question related to hackers. Is the point clear? And next, what do we have? So in the next slide, we have nothing because we have covered all the 12 chapters. So this is very, very important. So ensure that you take the screenshot of all these chapter wise important topics so that you can prepare on this, work on this, and be thorough with each chapter, whatever you wanted to prepare. Is the point clear? So let's wind up for today's session. Thank you so much.